I'm Hazel Yuvienco from the MAT Elementary Education Program. This is a requirement for the Introduction to the Basic Tenets of Education, course EDN 5040, Spring 126. I believe that in order to maximize learning, students need structure and repetition. To quote C.M. Everson, good classroom management is not an end in itself. It's important because it establishes conditions that enable students to learn better and because poor classroom management creates conditions that interfere with desirable educational outcomes. Repeated routines are recommended for early learners to help manage their behaviors. According to our textbook, the purpose of having a routine is to provide an orderly transition as students enter the classroom and get ready for instruction. My teaching style emphasizes students' engagement. I want them to be active participants of their own learning. Examples of what I have my students do are role playing, sharing, and group work. Having a good classroom management structure will support these activities. Repeated routines help students become comfortable and make them more willing to take risks, like sharing ideas with the class. On this slide, you can see that I have 5 tables in my classroom, each of which can seat 4 students, but I have 21 students, so I have a singleton desk that is positioned next to my desk. The teacher desk is in the corner of the room next to the singleton desk. I would sometimes put a student who needs more help on that desk. The tables act as their learning centers. I just have corners in my room where I stow away the materials they use when going to a particular center like reading or math. My activities are centered on these 2 core courses. We follow rules for voice levels. We have hand signals for certain classroom cues, and we also have general rules for classroom behaviors. One of the ways I try to reinforce positive behavior is through a reward system where students are given certain awards at the end of the month. We also have a prize chest for weekly good behaviors. Since most of my students are from Asia and the Middle East, and I am originally from the Philippines, we tend to share similar cultural experiences. Integrating our cultures would impact the classroom climate and behavioral expectations positively. When students misbehave, I speak to them calmly and privately. I would pose the question, how would you feel if? And encourage them to think about their actions and how they would feel if they were at the receiving end of their misbehavior. I plan to create a corner with this title and have a weekly exercise on practicing different emotions. There will be chaos if there are no rules. Young children thrive on structure. I need to be consistent so students know the expectations on how to behave. They take these behaviors with them even outside my classroom. I know it is working because several of our special teachers have been complimenting my students about their good behavior. So structure and routines coupled with consistency do work. I have specific leadership roles, and my students rotate weekly to give everybody a chance to perform certain duties. Students are graded on the following: participation, individual skills assessment, small group check-ins, and worksheets. We use standards-based grading. For example, if we give a 5-item test, they get a level 3 if they get 4 or 5 correct answers, level 2 if they get 2 or 3 correct answers, and level 1 if they get 0 or 1 correct answer. Having a structured classroom management policy leads to clear expectations. Clear expectations and consistent reinforcement of rules will support clear implementation of standards because the behavior is addressed by the classroom rules and this is separate from the academic grading based on standards. So grading is focused on the mastery of standards. This is based on excerpt from. Thank you.